Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you want to be happy watching. This is Risco and Osaka coming at you with some more spooky hijinks with control. I actually just got to get everything kind of set up. ah, life is everything. Yay! It's a whole box of chocolates right now. It's a whole box of chocolates. That's not like the good box of chocolates. It's I don't really even like that expression or anything about that movie. Oh, Sludo! How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Everything seems, kitty wampus. So, there's that. I wanted to tell you, I think I figured out the mix-up when we were talking about Cabin in the Woods the other day, and you're mentioning about how there's like a ton of CG in that scene. And I think it was because I said it wrong. I started talking about the elevator scene, but I really meant to be talking about the Purge scene. And the Purge scene, I think, is largely practical effects. Anything like human-sized, I think, is practical. The elevator scene is largely CG, although there are, I think, a few practical effects in the long shots, and the close-up shots are practical. But yeah, most of that stuff is CG in the elevator scene. So that was on me, sorry about that. Is life being okay to you? Busy day, but I'm doing well. I was totally thinking about the elevator scene. Yeah, that was my fault. I thought about it, and I had one of those instances where, I had a clear memory of what I said, which is fairly rare, and I was like, I definitely said the elevator scene. Clearly, that's why Ludo's saying what they're saying, but it didn't, that didn't happen until today, basically. Is this, is your being busy, is that good busy, I hope? Hunt down hiss clusters to eliminate their healing abilities, allowing you to defeat enemies faster. I think in the long shot of the elevator scene, it might be... I think the tarantula is an actual tarantula in this tiny box. And I think the blob might be like a practical blob effect. Os! Panda! You have returned! Welcome back! I'm so glad that you got out before the, the total lockdown thing. Because I caught that, in one of your tweets. Just the ordinary bills, grocery shopping, laundry. This is good. This is very good. I got my laundry done today, and it felt like a major accomplishment. So I'm glad that you got that done. Your grandma and uncle are stuck up there. Are they stuck up there? Although you're laughing, so it sounds like good news. But are they stuck up there in safety? I'm hoping. Was there... We kind of rushed the end, because I did get a little bit flustered last go, and that's something we might talk about when we've got some more folks in chat. Nothing too serious, just kind of stuff I've been thinking about and kind of kicking around with Hives, so... But it also means I don't really quite remember... I mean, I know what we're doing, because it says it up in the corner of the screen, but I don't remember if I had any idea of where to do this. I also don't know if I remember how to play the game, so I should probably try that. What is it? L2 is aim, okay. R1 is grab stuff. I'm not going to throw this at you, lady, don't worry. Release is throw it, got it. They have a safe place to say, but whether they're being safe is their business. That's fair. that can't you can't really make people be safe. I just hope for your own mental well-being that like they don't do anything that puts too much emotional stress on you. You're stuck in ISO. Oh, because it was up there, right? So are you on a full you have to quarantine for like the 14 days type of deal? Just like a better safe than sorry kind of thing? Uh we haven't gotten that. We need to track that. Okay, and that stuff is done. Correspondences. I don't know why the filter keeps switching back to all. Hey Simon, I got your message. Yeah, if someone is in the sector asking about Ati, just tell him you'll handle it and leave it at that. Under no circumstances should any personnel intervene with his day-to-day routine. Intervene? It sounds more like interfere. Zog! Yo! Welcome, and Kronos too? Welcome. I hope that both of you are doing well. I hope that both of you are staying safe. Zog, you especially, because I'm pretty sure that you're in the States, and the States is very weird right now. Panda says 2 weeks and need 2 clear tests, so I'll be here for at least 10 more days. That sucks. You can't like get a COVID test for love or money. Well, embrace the chaos, Zog, but embrace what safety that you can too. I want you to keep sucking air. So what is that? I told him everything I know about him, so you could better deal with his odd habits. But yes, it's still very much classified matter. Also, I saw your report about the quarry worker who wandered in the Foundation. Detaining him was the right move. We'll figure out what he saw before we decide on next steps. Cheers, Lynn. In case you hadn't noticed, something's up between Trench and Darling. I know it's not your strong suit, but try your best to stay out of it. The chaos is your safety. Okay. Okay. I mean, I trust you to know what you need in these situations. Crown says, I remember my COVID test sensation is not great. Everything I've read makes them sound pretty unfun. Oh, she's talking about us, not to us. The ones here are free but require a booking. Couldn't even contact the clinic until today for some reason. Yeah, maybe there's another spike? I mean, that's kind of here. We're spiked. We got spikes. They're not even the cool kind of spikes, like a spiked collar. It's just the hospitals are all kind of non-functional and can't accept patients type spikes. You know, the usual. A normal thing for a first world country on top of its game dealing with this problem. All the travelers, oh god, yeah. Yeah, Panda, that's like a mood. Alice! Alice, hello? I know I said this twice in text, but I'll say it once with my voice as well. Please don't feel sorry about how things hashed out. Your health is the first thing. Want you to take care of yourself. And I certainly didn't feel like my time had been wasted. And I'm here for you if you need anything the next time you want to try to get things up and running. So we're totally, absolutely 100% cool. Oh, I thought it was broken. Kronos says, I mean, I understand the methodology and am all for precision confirmation, though it doesn't stop the process from being any less unpleasant. I wonder if I'll ever actually get a test before, like, the vaccines are widely distributed, if the vaccines are widely distributed, ever. That's still kind of a question mark. Wait. This is Ati's office. Like, we were here, right? This was where Ati was talking about the peppers? Janitor office? Right. Okay, sure. We just went in a circle, that's fine. Brisbane Red Zone is from someone showing up with the UK variant. Was not impressed when the news hit. I think the current spike in Tokyo might be from the newer UK variant. I know there was a Japanese traveler that came back from the UK, and they were confirmed to have it. There was another traveler from Brazil, and they were also, I believe, confirmed to have the new variant. I've got kind of like an idea of what the process is. I didn't realize it was a brush. I thought it was a swab. The brush sounds even worse, if that's possible. Alright, so fine. We're in the power plant. I also reconnected with somebody from uni through Tinder today. So I'm dying in ISO. Oh god. But it'll make the eventual meeting that much sweeter. Wait, what just happened? You might be right about the swab. I used an incorrect word. Oh. Foo. No worries, no worries. Not an issue at all. Wording is hard. The word parts of the brain meets. You know, they don't always want to do the thing that they need to be doing. Well, where's the frickin' coolant pumps? Hello, yes, I'm Director Faden. Did you not know? Maybe they're up here. Oh, of course, right, because we cleared this control point. So that makes sense that they would be here. Hi. My test is a swab, which I was very thankful for. Oh gosh, that sounds unpleasant. Like, that does sound distinctly unpleasant. It's certainly not something I would want to have to do more than once. Do we have hiss people, like, hissing at us? I do see bodies. And it is red. Red usually means bad guy. I mean, it's not glowy red, but still... Surely that person was already gonna die because we can't cleanse them. You know, it's a very low-tech brainwashing technique, Panda, so, you know, maybe you should feel honored. That is, I want to clarify, it's supposed to have been a joke. I don't know if it really worked, but, you know... I feel like all these places that we're going through should... Okay, yes, there is combat. I was kind of getting to wonder a little bit. Where are you, red, glowing person? Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. Fudge! Oh, shit. Do you have RPG launchers? Are you throwing Dungeons and Dragons at me? I would find that to be very rude. Oh, shit! Wait, what? 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 Who? Excuse me, Flyboy? As they say, when you snooze, you lose. This is true. This is absolutely true. I wish I could do the "They Tried to Kill Him with a Forklift" song from Mitchell, but unfortunately I don't think I can really pull it off. Wait, that was Mitchell, right? The forklift bit? I feel like it was. Oh, fuck. Wait, why do you not shoot? What is your problem? Why are you not doing the shooty thing? Look, I'm pointing the gun at you. Okay, that's why. Hi. Oh, fuck. Oopsie doodles. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How about a bloody buddy? Oh, nice frame rate dip. I liked that. That was good. That was well done. There you are. Are we good then? Has everybody died? Has everybody died? Oh wait, okay, we've got the punchy thing too. We should remember the punchy thing. Good, because it's mostly because it's cool. I mean, it doesn't really help us, but we are apparently the director by accident, so we have to be styling and possibly profiling. Was you planning to open that door? Love? Love? No? No? Okay. Okay. That's cool. Don't worry about us. We're not hip to progress. Progress in our house? In my room? No, but actually I would love to progress, so that would be cool. Door. Converters. Oh, yes, we need to fix them because we are janitor assistants. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Kronos. Yeah, Saturday was kind of fucked, and then I had a migraine on Sunday, so like it was a double whammy. I don't know why the weekends are so cursed. Especially as like time as a construct really has no meaning at the moment. But Saturdays and Sundays feel like they've been a whole thing recently. Hello, friend. Toy. Enjoy toy. Oh, punch! Right, be stylish. It's not as stylish as beating the game with a dab. Whoa, 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 wait, what? Excuse me? I'm sorry. What, from whence? It worked out on my end. I spent the morning watching whole live streams. I'm glad. Kronos, I'm really glad. Yeah, that was an F. I feel like we got F'd. I feel like something about the physics there failed me, because we were behind a wall. I'm not sure what was hitting us. Do we need to pick up any of that shit that we picked up before? Like, it counts as picked up. F is for friends who do stuff together. What was the series of like little poems that was all about dead kids? Was it the Ghastly Crumb ABCs? Or was it the ABCs of Death? I feel like I should check that for the Fs. Let's just make sure we haven't lost any collectibles. Correspondence. Ati? Oh, did we lose Adi? Because I don't want to... I don't want to have to do that. My, my sense of time basically largely went out the window, Zog. So it doesn't really make any sense, but I feel like it was over quickly and at the same time. It took completely fucking forever. It feels very it feels very unfair, to be honest. Out this year is slower because, damn it, I want to cosplay this year.
I was not prepared for today.
Yeah, I mean, I would like time to slow down. There are definitely things that I had wanted to get done in 2020 that were just simply not, like, not possible. So I'd like to have the time to do them this go around. I don't know. The Zahir cosplay I always wanted to do. I'm unfamiliar with this character Zahir. Is it a very stylish cosplay? Would you be styling and profiling? I mean, of course, obviously you would, but would this cosplay specifically help you do those things? Alright, so we got spooky chatter. So we know we're going in the right direction. There was a button that we weren't able to open. That we killed Mens. And I think that that's really the takeaway. We wanted to kill the Mens again. Or kill Mensa. You know, just as an organization, Mensa is probably not, like, 100% necessary. Oh, I love all the pop-in in this game. The pop-in is great. Just poppin' fresh poppin'. You just dropped the box. Love, why would you do that? We are gonna need this box. Do you not see all the glowy things up ahead? Fiddle Smurfs. He's from Legend of Korra. He dresses like a monk, and I kind of look similar if I lose a lot of weight. Well, if it would make you happy to do the Zahir... I don't know why I want to say Zahid. That's not clearly the character's name. If you want to do the Zahir cosplay, and it would make you feel good about yourself to do it, then I wish you the best of luck with that project. Why did you drop the box? We're gonna need that box. Can you not see the glowy stuff? The evil red glow of doom, we just went in a circle. How the fuck did we do that? Eh? Nande? Okay, pumps. Okay, pumps. Pumps are this way. Right, got you. I remember that. Does that sign say in case of pumps? Alright, here's our baddies. Bakang! Oh shit! Excuse me, but the fuck? What is what spidery floppy limbed motherfucker was that? I'm sorry. This is uncalled for. This aggression by you is wow, you know? That was not cool. You move in a very interesting way. Honestly, I kind of love it. Like, if we're going to be 100% honest. But it is very unsettling. There are many of you. Why are there many of you? We look, you were soldiers before. They were soldiers before. Why are they... He's a controversial character since he's explicitly an anarchist, but depicts anarchism in the wrong way. I got a feeling that's probably more... Fortunately, which is certainly why my understanding of anarchism is not nearly to the depth that I would like it to be. I think it'd be funny to find a Korra cosplayer and shout actual anarchist literature at her while mock fighting. Okay, that'd be worth it. That would be worth. Excuse me. The Hiss-charged agents are examples of extreme physical deformation resulting from Hiss corruption. Hiss-charged display an unthinking fixation on any non-corrupted individuals in the area. Once within a specific proximity, they erupt into a burst of focused Hiss resonance so dense that it acts as a physical force. The Hiss-charged is depleted of the Hiss corruption after this eruption. The host is left lifeless. It's always the way, isn't it? Behavior may be an adaptive response to the HRAs. The Hiss-charged are designed to blow the devices off potential hosts, exposing them to resonance. Is the Hiss capable of customizing a corrupted host's altered ability to this degree? Why is the physiology of the Hiss-charge so dramatically different from the host's original form? Lots of questions, no answers. Always the way. I remember one year I saw cosplay from Katana Gatari, which made me surprisingly happy because literally no one cosplays Katana Gatari, and then this absolute mad lad did it. Think about the phrase mad lad a bit, Kronos, but I'm really glad that you got to see that cosplayer. I've got to get this ableism thing banged out. Zaheer and pals have deposed rulers part down, but the rule of the jungle type. That's like I feel that is the very kind of stereotypical presentation of anarchy in media. And it's certainly kind of messed up my ability to really understand how it functions in real life, like real anarchist thought. Thought Slide is helpful with that because it kind of is able to put some of these concepts in a form that I can grapple with. Although I'm still not sure about... Wait, did we? Is this where we were before? Ati didn't talk to us before. Power cut. Replace the parts. How do I... Do you just go here? Yeah, I guess you do. Percussive repair. We need more recognition of the power of percussive repair. Because it's awesome. Excuse me. Friendo? No? No? Oh, Jesus! You can't... Where? From whence? My friend? These yabos they just come out of nowhere. They're coming out of the gosh darn vents. Oh, that was bad. Let's not do that again. Fuck. Oh jeepers. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Hi. Oh, we've got no health. Of course, because why would we? Oh crap. Look at you. You're pretty, I swear to God. You are so heckin' pretty. You... PS4 streaming still uses the old PogChamp remote. Oh, you're right, because they stripped... Twitch stripped the PogChamp remote, and they made it all, like, they make it change all the time, so it's not the actual PogChamp. Buffering. The low latency toggle is set, my friend. And by friend, I'm talking directly to Twitch right now, not any of you. Ooh, laggy. Oh, it's 7 seconds. Oh, you fucking fuck. I'm gonna have to do that again. Hey, Adi! How you doing, Adi? What are you doing over here? Oh, you're not Adi. You're just somebody else. You don't count. You're not important. Ventilation. Not important. Elevator. Not important. Yeah, I'm personally myself, like, I have a difficult time, and it's a difficulty that's only increased over time of kind of grappling with dense texts, I guess. Like, I feel like I learn much better from listening to people actually speaking. So it does make research difficult. Oh, crumbs, I missed you. Speaking of which, comment sync seems to be the fastest I've ever been on my end. I see my comment in the screen in seconds. That's great. That's like really... That's really good. I would like to make like the chat experience a little bit more functional. Don't know necessarily how I'm supposed to do that, because this is all like Twitch and stuff, but... Coolant pumps. Why are you suddenly this way? You were not this way before. Game, why you gotta be like this? Did we not get the charged this time? Maybe we didn't trigger it because we jumped over the barricade? Like the event flag never got popped? Okay, at least it's repaired. No, it's not.
Replace the parts.
That's, I mean, honestly, yeah, Panda. And people who are able to... I tend, and I don't know why this is, it's like a weird quirk of how my brain meets work, or maybe this is a normal thing, but I tend to remember, like, stories, or things that are story-shaped pretty well. Better than, like, my actual life. And in fact, a lot of things that I remember in my life are really just things that I've forced myself to memorize by getting them into a story shape that I can tell. Okay. Now we're gonna have those charged folks, and they're bad. As the saying goes, they're very bad. So let's kind of choke point it. See if that helps us. Like, if we could take care of a bunch of these jerks more quickly. Okay, now that the charged folks come. And this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky for me. Oh shit. Okay, so we missed that. That was bad. But it worked out. It worked out in the best. Surprisingly so, actually. Got one more of you right there. Oh, you suck? You can't... you're not allowed to dodge? No, you are super not allowed to fucking dodge? I'm sorry. Where did you go? Neko Navy has no voiceovers. Darn. Wait a minute. It says Neko Navy once in a cute voice. Meaning that I win again. I would never presume to tell you that you've lost. Are there more enemies down below? Oh, just fucking hold still. Yosh. I think we did it. If you throw a second object after the first, you can hit those. Oh, like just give them a really quick double tap so that they can't actually. So like they dodge into the second object, basically. That's clever. I mean that in a sincere way, not a like a douchey way. Their dodge has a short cooldown. There you go. There you go. Are you okay, Jesse? Your cat broke the feather toy. Your cat is an absolute like a beast. Abilities. Oh, we could actually up some of our abilities. 20% to energy, that actually sounds pretty good. Or launch 2, so like 50% more damage or 20% more juice. That is actually kind of a hard choice for me. Rip in pieces. Huh. Like, I do like damage. But I feel like I'm gonna go with get more juice. Because I feel like we run out a bit quickly. Astral constructs. Weapon forms. Upgrade grip. Oh, but we don't have enough for that. So, why are you... I don't know. Sometimes, like, sometimes I don't get you. I love you, but I don't get you. Oh, no worries, Panda. I'm actually gonna take, like, a really quick break here, just for a second. Hopefully the stream will decide not to... suck? By suck, I mean, like, connection break or anything like that. It's not the game. You already bought the game. Oh, I will check that out whilst I'm on my break. And I need to put that study, even though I haven't finished reading it, I need to put that study up on LSRS because folks might be interested in that. But we will be right back. We are back, and I saw your whip, and I'm really liking it. Actually, there's two things I wanted to talk about. Your art. One about the whip, and one about the picture directly above that. And I do agree with the comment that it looks like you're kind of stretching a bit outside of your zone for particularly the outfit design, and I think that's really cool. Like, that's very, very solid. I look forward to seeing how that works out for you. And if it turns into something that you're proud of, you're happy with. The other thing that I wanted to point out about that, the earlier picture up top, and particularly the Kiseko picture, and I find it really interesting that, I mean, obviously you can see in the picture, and it's much clearer to see on my laptop screen than it is on my phone screen. But like you could clearly see the figure hanging downwards, like head down. But because of the way like my phone screen treated it, it looked like from kind of the neck to the feet looked like a skull with like a crown on it and all the black bands and the eyeball things kind of coming out of it. And I thought that was really, really quite neat. I don't know how she's crying upwards, but I'm assuming since she has eyeballs for and evil blackness for body parts, that probably breaking the laws of gravity to cry upwards is not anything that's really beyond her capabilities. Charge into the field. Kill enemies with service weapon in charge mode. I don't think we can charge it yet. I don't think we can do Pierce yet. His guard's an exact, but it can't do spin yet. Okay. Alright, so I mean, I think we're doing all of the board countermeasures that we currently can. The crying detail seems to be a constant throughout all the reference I work with. The lore is that the eyes and hair are parasites fighting for the body's control. So she's got like 2 sets of parasites? That's kind of, that seems a little bit unfair to the girl. And they're not even the kind of parasites that get along. I would be totally down with either of those parasites, though. Like, even both of them, if they could get their shit together and, like, work together. If they need the host body, like, right here, I'm all for it.
I don't like that sound.
I haven't liked most any sound in the game. I mean, if I were in your shoes, Jesse, I actually kind of love the sound design. Are you... Did we get... do we have to fight fungi? Because I stopped playing Toulouse 2. I stopped. It's gone. Well, I mean, it's not gone. I have to sell it back because I haven't been able to do that. I should have done it on Saturday, and I missed my window of opportunity. Are you? Excuse me? I'm sorry. Shooty people. From whence dost thou shoot? Jump, jump. Director Faden can jump, jump. Our Lady Mac can jump, jump. Come on, come on. No, but actually, like, who am I shooting? Where? Oh, no, that's not you. Listen, you can't give me combat music and then just hide the enemies. That's hardly cool. The spirit things don't normally extend that far, but I took some creative liberties to have them encircle the character somewhat similar to snake constriction. I liked it. I liked it. Bottom line is that I had a lot to work with when I picked that character for the contest, is what I'm saying. You did a damn good job. Like, no worries. No pushback from me on that point. There you are. You hiss agent. Look at you, all being all hissy and shit. I forgot how to... Oh shit, grenade! Hello? I forgot how to charge the gun, unless we just maybe haven't learned yet. Ha! Ha! Who's dead now? They're dead. They're very dead. Are they like, are they dead already and being like meat puppeted, or are they alive in some way? I'm a little bit like weak on that lore. Boof. Good news, I found where we put the tea. That is excellent news. I know that you are a tea aficionado. I wish you all the tea that there is to be had. You look weird, dude. You just discorporated. Is that a word? Discorporated? I don't know if that's a word. Alright, you look like the thing that I need, but you are probably too far away to get. Yes. Clearly, wonderful.
Go to city. Fix it fast. If the plant goes boom, we can throw the spoon in the corner.
Yeah, Adi, no, I'm 100% down with that. Get the spoons in the corner. Probably they're more accessible than if you put them in a drawer. And Lord knows we could all use some more spoons at the moment. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm wondering, maybe that's where the spoon belongs. Why do we have fungus? Very durable, by the way, these constructs. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Can I? Oh yeah, okay, whatever. I guess we shoot. Shooting also works. I mean, let's be honest. Hello? Yeah, and we could do that too. I'm more than happy to work however you wanna do it. Oh gosh, they could have been throwing enemies at us all the way from over here, and we would have been fucked. And that would have been bad. Look, please, you don't even know what you're fucking getting into here. I am the kind of directress? The dominatrix? I couldn't really, I don't think that, I'm not cut out for that, honestly. Oh, neat. Like the reality is breaking. I like it when reality breaks because honestly it makes everything about my life far less weird and far more explicable. And explicability, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm good. Did we just summon more dudes? We did. And I think ladies. I think the charged hiss might be office ladies. It's hard to tell. Equal opportunity hisses, though. And... oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, that's not how that works. I like them apples, motherfucker. You don't like them very much, do you? Oh, really though? Look, not today. Are there more of you? Like, can we just do this thing? I'm all about doing this thing. What are you like hiding or something? Oh, there you are. Come on over here, cutie. We could be cool. We could be girlfriends. What, motherfucker? I was trying to make a friend, and here you are, somebody, nobody, ghosts shooting at me? Like, that seems quite unfair. Why is a ghost shooting at me? What have I done? Oh, clip it good. When a problem comes around, you can clip it. That actually kind of works. I wish I had a better facility for making up song parodies because I feel like you could get some mileage there. Why? Why must thou shoot at me? Do you not see how stylish I am? In my jacket? My lovely jacket? I don't know why the pronunciation was so weird. Well, God, I just want to throw this at you, okay? I don't want to go down there. Wait, what? Excuse me? Bippity boppity boo. Are we done? Can I do the spoon thing now? Yuri Geller? Maybe. I think I saw another one of those breakers that I gotta fix. Oh, that's neat! I didn't notice that before, but there's a, what would you call it? Like a finishing bar on the bits that we have to do. Clog complaint. That gross blockage down in the water systems is back. What the fuck is it? And where does it keep coming from? And why the hell does Auntie keep yelling nonsense at it? He acts like he can understand him. Of course he acts like we can understand him too. Guess that's just his brand of silliness. I'm gonna try out a new drain cleaner, extreme strength. Yuri Geller's my favorite, my favorite Friends character. Okay. I mean, he seems like he'd get on well with. No, because he's not evil, honestly, and I think like the Friends folks are kind of low key evil. I don't know if that's fair. It just feels that way. I never watched that much of it though, so it's kind of hard to say. I might be just talking out of my bumhole, which is not advisable, by the way. Don't do that, really. Okay, look, there's supposed to be a zappy box that I can slot one of these other zappy boxes into. So if you could make yourself evident, that would be nifty. Like, there's a power box, but where do you go? Where do you go, my friend? Here. Percussive maintenance.
Shit. What now?
My
But-
old enemy, the clock, is blocking the pipes. You need to deal with that shit. He is very clever. He's trying to sneak in. We got him caught with his hand in the fish trap. Get rid of him.
I mean, that makes 100% sense to me, honestly. I'm good with that for once. It's not cryptic nonsense. I love when he researches dinosaurs and bends spoons. I mean, who wouldn't, though? What's a mouth? I typically talk through my mouth, but I don't know the first thing about biology. I mean, you could have many mouths. Well, aren't you just a cutie? What is your malfunction? Oh crap! What? Hey, fuck! Oopsies! Well, I guess it's just got like a. Maybe it's got an area effect damage thing, like a spore thing. I kind of expect that to happen, and then it did. I got poop on me. That's what you get for talking out of your asshole, I guess. You end up with poop on you. Malfunction. Gets killed by malfunction. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. When falling, use evade fall damage. Wait, I do kind of remember how to use evade. What button was that? We learned that in the last one. It was the platforming section with the weird gold enemies. Wait, okay, no, progress bar is still progressed. So I guess we didn't lose the stuff that we did. We just... No, we don't want to do furnace chamber yet. But are we gonna have to fight through these dude Mars again? I bet we will.
We need to fix this thing ASAP.
Listen, ableist language, Jesse. We should... That's not the evade button. I'm not sure if that works for me 100%. Are there baddies? I hear chanting. Chanting often indicates baddies. There are bodies in the air. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor? Something like that. Are you just decoration bodies? I think they're just decoration bodies. I don't know, honestly. Whatever, let's go fix this pipe. Got 99 problems and drowning pool is not one of them? Or wait, no. Was that drowning pool or was that Papa Roach? I don't remember anymore. It is gone. It's disappeared from my memory. Alright. What if we do it from here? Oh, we can't shoot through the grill. Wait, what? Like, we gotta be in the same room? Why? Alright, so yes, it does spray large amounts of poop. That's a lot of poop! You can't... I mean, you know, it would work, as a Marvel character. This thing is, like, it's a really extended poop spray. And I think that's not charming. I don't want to get hit with the poop again, so I need you to decide if you're gonna poop on me, because I'm not down with it. Basically, that makes me very uncomfortable.
What the hell is that?
Buttons!
Most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Buttons, it is so wonderful to see you. I hope that life treats you gently. I hope life treats all you gently. In these very odd times that we live, or it exists in a state of quasi-life, it's a little bit confusing. I bet we're gonna have to fight more of it, and there's gonna be more poo. Really, I don't know if we should put a content warning on this, but it is kind of gross for me, so... CW... Fluids... if anyone... And this, I'm not making this as a joke. Like, if anybody does have issues, with... fluids, then... this might be a bit of a tough section. I realized as I said that I should have had the camera pointing in the other direction, but, you know, shoot my clogs is a great phrase. And it works against pipes, it also works against the Dutch. Depending on your feelings about the Dutch. Yeah, Kronos, I'm sorry, I had no idea. If we ever get a chance to play Dead Space, that'll probably be good, like, CWs for Dead Space too. You know what I wish, what I'd love to see would be, like, a website that had content warnings on games of various levels of granularity. Like, you could go to the game title and it would have, you could just do the most general content warnings. Like, this stuff will appear in the game at some point, be ready for it. And then you could get, like, a more detailed breakdown if you wanted that. Because some things to be surprised by can be a big issue for people, and that's very justified. And then just to be able to check, you know, all in one place, as opposed to having to go to, you know, 20 different sites and game facts and message boards, and half the times people don't do content warnings anyways, so I'm pretty resilient to most CWs unless the game is just straight up horror. That's fair. If you do have any, like, limits in particular, things I can keep in mind when choosing games in the future for stream, you don't need to share them here necessarily, but, you know, you can always DM me and I'm try to actually, you know, take notes and remember. I'm getting better with the CWs, at least, I think, I hope. Wait, are you? Yeah, okay, look, that's... Look, Control, that's a bit, you know... It's a bit... You're just giving it your all, Clog? You are just... You need... I would see a doctor, Clog, if it were I would see a doctor. Because this is not, like... This is not healthy for intestines and other living things. As nobody's getting hit by trucks, I'm pretty good. Well, since we can't do movie streaming nights, we don't need to worry about maximum overdrive, I guess. Depending on what degree of seriousness that is, and I... Discord emote that is just Clee Poggers. I've somehow, well, maybe not entirely surprisingly, but I've managed to miss the entirety of the isekai trend. Like I know it in general. We've talked about the general shapes of isekai, but I've never actually, I think, watched an isekai. Some people were saying Other Side Picnic is a kind of sort of isekai, but that from the synopsis that I've read, that doesn't really seem to be the case. I do really want to check out Other Side Picnic, though. I think Weird Worlds, possible survival horror, but also Yuri. So, you know, you're basically at that point
Oh, this
checking
is gonna come down.
most of my boxes. I'm not even meaning that for the pun. That's like, that wasn't... I wish I hadn't introduced that as a pun, because now I'm never gonna not think about it when I ever have to use the word box. So that's... Are we done here? Yeah, I guess we are. Just a warning, In Another World with My Smartphone is the worst anime I've ever seen. Okay. Best isekai is female lead and usually non-combat focused. I wonder if that I wonder if that Dreamless City one that we were talking about before would count as an isekai. It's extremely not combat focused. I mean, this woman kind of wakes up in a weird, strange town, but like, it seems like, to me, a big checkpoint for isekai is that the character gets to use some kind of OP skill for the setting because they've come from the normal world. Whereas in the normal world, it's not like a really particularly great skill to have, but for some reason in the isekai it makes them like totally OP. And that's not an aspect of Sleepless City at all. It's very introspective, kind of dealing with her memories and her life, and whether she wants to go back to the real world or even recognizes that the quote-unquote real world exists. Kumo desu ka na? Kumo desu ka nani ka is one of the best. I've heard people talk about that. I've never actually read it, and actually, I wonder if the light novel would be in my reading level, because I really need to... I really need to be practicing more reading, but finding things that work at my reading level is quite difficult. It's very easy to get frustrated. Wait, where did we put this now? Girls reincarnated as a spider monster in a dungeon, has to survive, has real good pacing, and it isn't horny. Okay. Isekai is strange. There's a whole lot you could do with this setup, but more than half the isekai I've seen starts with kill through inexplicable means, uses video game knowledge post reincarnation. That, like, when I've seen discussions on isekai, that, like, it really feels like the thing. And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, but... Yeah, okay, but...
Nothing more satisfying than manual labor.
That's not without its truth, Jesse. Those rocks are just clipping through the floor. Those rocks just clipped right through the fucking floor. When a rock rolls around, you must clip it. Des, it is wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for dropping by. I hope that life is treating you really well, quite gently. I'm kind of juggling like 3 different ideas at the same time. Spider's voiced by Aoyuki, which is already +1 for me. Okay. Zontra said the first episode of that just came out. Didn't look too good to me so far, but I'll keep watching for now. Is that the... Are you talking about Kumo? Zagatar? If it doesn't click, I mean it doesn't click for you, but... My husband got Xbox Game Pass, so I play this next or Outer Worlds. But Happy Few is wearing a bit thin on me. Like, I've heard that, Des. Well, it might be something that hits later for you, or it just might not be something that really works at all, and that's cool too. There's a whole lot of content. There's no reason to spend your time like forcing yourself to watch something, even if it's something that people whose opinions you respect happen to like. It's maybe not going to be something for you. Solo leveling manhwa is extremely good if anyone wants real-life video game leveling stuff. Huh. That's interesting. What's that thinking of? Maybe it'll come back to me. I feel like I had a thought, and then that thought was just gone. It just went away. So we'll let it go for now. Now, I believe there was like a super killer furnace room that we never went to, but maybe we weren't meant to go to yet. Oh, hey, look at you. You are a whole beast. I don't like that. Why did that happen? Oh, crumbs! Didn't want to do that. Oh, shit. I was gonna be sorta kinda skillful. Sniped that dude with boxes. It did not work out. I hit this dude with a broom. And really, honestly, he should be ashamed. This dude should be ashamed. Oh, nice! You can hit him coming and going. I love it. That makes me distinctly happy. In a really weird way, but it does. Okay, but look, you've been fun, buddy. I swear, you've been so fun. Been super fun, but I kind of have to ask you to stop being fun. Alright, are there gonna be more of these dudes? Because I want to check this trooper dude. Is that? Des says, don't get me wrong, we Happy Few is good in a lot of ways, but in between walking here, there, everywhere, entire town turning on me for minor things, friend hide, wait it out, come back, gets a bit boring, repetitive, and annoying. That's fair, Des. That's like, that is a super fair breakdown of why gameplay is not working for you. Plus, I made it harder by deciding not to kill anyone for achievement and fun. It sounds like you might get the achievement, but maybe not the fun out of that one. His troopers. Troopers are meant to be first agents to enter unknown AWEs, thresholds, or any other paranaturally hazardous situation. They're heavily armored and heavily armed in preparation for the worst. As a result of this role, his troopers have access to the heaviest armor and weaponry from the Bureau's armory, including military-grade chain guns and grenade launchers. Look, you don't want to shoot a chain out of a gun. That's going to fuck up the barrel something fierce. Honestly. That was a bit. I'm sorry. I don't think I delivered it well. In addition to their already formidable FBC-issued armor, the hiss resonance surrounding these enemies is dense enough to stop bullets. If forced to engage one of these, be sure to make use of any available cover. Also note that to the telekinetically talented, enemy grenades can be a welcome source of ammunition. Sounds nifty. Honestly, one of my favorite isekais, question mark, is Dog Days. Solely because of how just how dedicated the show is to letting me have fun watching it. That's interesting, Kronos. I'm not familiar with Dog Days. I'm not familiar with like a lot of the titles, to be honest. If you want, would you like to give us a thumbnail? And Des, absolutely, come back anytime. We'll be around for you. We should be around for at least like another 2 hours. Fuck barrels. All my gorilla homies hate barrels. But you're not wrong, Panda. You're not wrong. Sentence of Bookworm is pretty great. And Dog Days is honestly pretty old. It existed long before ReZero. That's really weird the way that the PlayStation 4 parsed that. Existed long before ReZero kicked off the isekai trend. Alright. So there's definitely worthwhile examples of the genre, just that how the genre is typically used tends to be pretty gross. I think we can go with the takeaway. I know some of the ones that I've heard of are like they seem like a lot, and not something I probably would be comfortable reading. Okay, but how about if I just threw this at you? No? It's not gonna work then. Oh shit! No, wait, we don't want the good guys to die. Aren't you? Wait, are you good or are you bad? I don't understand. Why aren't you shooting at me? I mean, I'd rather you didn't, but what? Okay, so you're friendly. I mean, as friendly as a government agent can be. Oh, hey. No, but I need my gun, is the thing. I didn't know that this was a thing. That, like, we could have fights protecting people? Look, why do you get to teleport, though? I mean, don't you think that's kind of rude? Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Please, don't do that. I don't like that. I will, by the way, eventually remember that I've got dodge. Whoa, 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 buddy. Buddy, though. That was not what we needed to do. Are we done here? No? Okay. Good job, friend lady. You did not die. And I, as director, offer you a couple days of vacation as soon as we unlock the, you know, the joint. Nelgaze ruined some decent premises. That's fair. I'd say a solid 75% isekai is just companies trying to ride the dollars train. Other 25% is actually good. Oh, I mean, I think you're gonna find that with an awful lot of just whatever our hype fad now is. There usually are good examples. There's reasons why the genre or the media type clicked with people. But once the rest of the companies kind of figure out, oh, that's the thing, and they want to get in on that money. Chronos, the simplest premise I can give is that the fantasy world is currently at war, quote unquote. One of the sides summon a hero, quote unquote, from another world. That hero's main character, who's just really good at sports, transported to aid the side of a war. I say war, but when the show shows actual conflict, the battles look like the funnest total wipeout courses ever. No one actually gets hurt or anything. They just turn into furry cat balls when they're out of commission? What is this? Besides kind of wonderful sounding? Best part about this whole thing is that main character isn't even stuck in this world. If anything, he comes back occasionally to spend his vacations, even brings his friends to have fun. That sounds very wholesome. Wholesome enough to the extent, like, kind of, is it an isekai? Hey, dude with the really creepy face, but that basically makes you look like everyone else?
Crew feels a lot safer when you're around.
Why did you look really happy and then you started to look really pissed off, mate?
What do you know about the hiss?
Not much, only what I've seen. Well, they use the same tactics that Marshall and Salvador taught us, which makes me think that the hiss haven't completely erased the people inside, which is a pretty fucking horrible thought. Or they're just using whatever they find in their victims' heads. In any case, they are really eager to get inside the power plant.
Why do you think that is?
Shit, I don't know. They want to make my life harder?
He, like, instantly goes to angry face. What did I miss? Penna says 25% is very optimistic. That's fair. Sockfire, isekai plot idea, you reincarnate as a barrel and live life peacefully. One day, Jesse the psychic picks you up and throws you at zombies. Like, but there is that whole, there's like a whole thing of isekai inanimate objects. Like, I know there's, what if I died and came back as a vending machine in a fantasy world? Panda says, I'd like to see a revenge isekai where the MC becomes super powerful early and gets sidetracked, then slowly heals and develops to the point they don't need revenge. Huh. That would be an interesting take on it. Buttons asks, does his body look small for his head to anybody else? I don't think you're wrong. He's got, like... But that's not really fair, because the dude from Pet Sematary 2, Clancy Brown, has also got a really big body to kind of go with the big head, but and Ron Perlman's kind of the same, where his head seems really large, but then you look at his entire body and it's relatively proportionate. I think our dude here is...
What do you do here, Arish?
Something.
Security chief of the maintenance sector. I make sure all the weird shit down here doesn't bother the maintenance crews. Learned everything I know from Salvador. The best security agent this bureau has ever seen.
And you like your job?
I love it. You know, everyone thinks that maintenance is the lowest rung on the ladder just because we fix pipes instead of writing memos, but I gotta be honest. These are the bravest people in the goddamn building. I'm proud to work with them.
I've done a few odd jobs with these kind of folks. They say what they mean. I like that.
Grant says, even better, your initial life is the barrel. Getting thrown into zombies is what killed you and into your isekai life. A subversion. Okay.
What exactly is the power plant?
It's a
Listen,
plant
I
that
only know what
makes
Salvador told me.
power.
I know it generates all the electricity for the bureau, and it's got two very simple rules. Rule 1, keep it below a certain temperature. Rule 2, don't ever open it. Oh, and 3, it's classified, so I shouldn't ask.
Sounds like secrets are standard operating procedure around here.
Oh, yeah. It's all part of the job.
It's a secret government organization, Jesse. I'm really liking you. I'm digging you, but like, gotta
What do you
get
know about the
quicker on the
service
draw.
side?
Not much. That thing is director only. Salvador told me by the time he saw Trench use it. Sounds like that gun can do some serious damage. Yeah, I did see pictures of it once, though, and it looks different to that thing you're carrying. You modded or something? It's new.
Is new a good thing?
Given the circumstances, I'd say new is our best bet.
He's talking about you, Jesse. He's hitting on you. He just kind of kludgy about it, but he seems sincere, so, like, you don't have to shoot him or nothing.
Do you know this Ati guy?
Of course. He's my favorite coffee break buddy. Dude has got some crazy stories. And he probably knows more than anyone else around here.
Wacky stories,
Makes sense of what he's saying.
Erish.
Any idea where he's from? I'm guessing Sweden.
He's from where he's from. Look, there are just some stones that are better left unturned, you know?
All right. I like the characters though. I
should
like the
go.
characterizations.
Try to stay
Right.
alive.
You gotta lock down the lift.
Let's check this out. Panda says the beginning after the end is kind of good. Guy from non-Earth world gets isekai'd in Fantasyland, so it's two alien cultures colliding. All right. Like it feels like a lot of isekai, and this just might be my kind of image and not really reflective of the genre, but it seems like so many isekai are like go to a fantasy land, like a very specifically like kind of a European-esque medieval-ish fantasy land, and it's like, I'll tell you what, that might be, although I have to imagine the setting has got to be getting tiresome for Japanese folks too, because they've been using it for fucking ever. But like that setting just has almost no interest to me. It feels like the most bog standard setting you could possibly put a world in. I could even dare to say that Dog Days is the Neko Navy of anime. I've got to play Neko Navy. Maybe that'll be like next month's goal. Will be at least playing it myself. I mean, if that ain't your fancy, there's one where the Demon Lord retreats to the modern world that works at McDonald's. That's slick. That's a concept. I'm gonna take like a really quick 2-second break. Well, longer than 2 seconds, probably more like 5 minutes, because I want to get a little bit of water down my throat. I have been a little bit more coughing tonight, recently than usual. If you need to take this time to get up and stretch, get yourself some water, soup, a sandwich, perhaps a salad. Doesn't even need to be a healthy salad if you don't want. You could do a 7-layer salad where it's like basically mayonnaise and bacon. Don't do that, by the way. I mean, do it if you must, but maybe that's not a good idea for your arteries. But please take the next 5 minutes or so to do that, and I will be back.
This is the longest day of my life. This is the longest day of my life. Here comes the director. Converter's at 92.7. Hey, can we get someone to check on the clock? Director? Stand by. This is the longest day of my life. Here comes the director. Director? This is the longest day of my life.
Alright, we are back. I think it's occurred to me, I don't know why, but I think it's not beyond the realm of human decency to say that the Jam, Trip Like I Do, by Filter and the Crystal Method, is the only good thing to come out of Todd McFarlane's Spawn movie from the 90s. Like, I don't think that's beyond believability to state. It is a banger. Though, I think. I always wonder when I use terms like banger because, like, you know, it's slang from a younger generation than I am. I might be using it wrong. But I do recommend it. It's a good song. The video is it's, you know, it's goofy. It's a '90s music video, so you're gonna go with that. But I remember King's Avatar. That's the esport MMO one, huh? And Nano Machine has been pretty good so far. All right, so that's some interesting suggestions. I have no idea about music, so when you quote songs, it's like some bizarre incantation to me. That is 100% fair. And trust me, I dig that feeling, because I know about music within the confines of what I know, if that makes any sense. Once I get beyond those confines, it's my grasp and ability to talk about it just completely evaporates, which I think makes sense. I mean, music is a pretty huge thing. There's a lot of it to know about, and we often see drop-offs in fluency and vocabulary when we're dealing with topics that we're not well versed in. Not making a pun, but that could be a pun. We could go with that. The opposite of a banger should be a mash. But I feel like mash in the context of music would also be a good thing. I just realized saying at all completely contradicts my point. I mean, don't worry. I don't hear the term banger thrown around often at all, but I do hear it, if that's any consolation to you. It is. I mean, it's not really something that I stress over too much. It's one of these terms that, like, it feels very comfortable saying, and yet at the same time, I'm not always 100% sure, like, if the nuance of it is matching what I want to be saying. So it's a bit of a funky feeling. Energy converters. Okay, we gotta fix those. Right. Energy converters, go right. One nice thing about this being in an office complex is that, like, things are labeled. That's highly appreciated. Are you the devil? The reticule is not turning red, but I'm gonna assume devilhood, just to be safe. That's not a happy sound. And while strictly speaking often at all is contradictory, people say it all the time, so usage drifts, and I say we embrace that so that, you know, you don't have to feel bad. Everyone's the devil sometimes. I mean, I got this new shirt, and it's got this, like, cute gal on it who I don't know if she worships the devil or she is the devil. She does have horns and long ears. She's got a fuck-off big knife, which I love. It's got this heart that's like black drippy ink, possibly blood, but the tops of it are kind of split so that it looks like wings. The sleeves have a little bit more baby iconography on them than I am, strictly speaking, comfortable with, and Zog I will, but it'll probably be in the next couple of days, because I've been having some body image issues recently. But it's a banging shirt. It's one of these, like, long sleeve tees with the holes in the wrists so you can put your thumbs through, which I know is bullshit, but my brain very strongly associates with girls. Also, it's bubblegum pink, so, you know, like, there's that too. I like, one of the good things that happened Saturday was a very up and down day. It was all over the place. We don't necessarily need to go too deep into it. But one of the really good things that I got on Saturday was this shirt. It's not, like, often that I buy good things for myself. I spend money on myself, but usually it's, let's be honest, it's whiskey and cigarettes, and that's, I don't think technically constitutes a good thing. It's definitely something I need to rein in, but like stuff for me is kind of a seldom thing. And especially because the last couple of stuff for me that I bought like really didn't work out. Tulu 2, that was a complete mistake. The hairdryer, I mean, at least if Honey Bunny visits, she'll have a hairdryer to use. She won't need to bring her own. But my mama, who is a hairdresser, and very strangely, but very nice feeling, we seem to have bonded more over hair because she loves my hair and she loves hairdressing. So she's very much like, oh, here's things you could do and your hair will be gorgeous. I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. That's so sweet. But so I got this shirt for myself, and I knew I'd wanted it because I'd seen a picture of it. Although I hadn't seen a picture of the sleeves, so I might have questioned that. In order to get the shirt, I had to go to my friend's shop. I haven't seen any of my friends in Meat Space in, I mean, it's like March 2020. And I hadn't realized how worried I have been about them. And we talked, and it was just like it was so good to see that he was safe, and he kind of got my situation. He's one of the first people I came out to in Meat Space that wasn't part of kind of, well, in Meat Space basically, because everybody I know that I would consider to be kind of LGBTQIA plus or adjacent is on the net, and he was immediately cool about it. Like he dug my sitch in a way that meant a huge deal to me. He wasn't somebody that I've been super close to just because our circles don't really overlap very much, and the last 2 years have been hard to kind of go out and meet people, but the degree of kindness that he showed me the day that I came out and on Saturday was like, it was a lot. It was a lot. So that was really cool. And getting the shirt did help with some of the body issues. There's a bit, there's like a euphoria of having something that you feel like fits you very well, and this does. I mean, it's even it's a little bit goofy, and I'm a little bit goofy. So those were the good things from Saturday. Although in this world, sometimes even the good things take spoons. So, that kind of sucks. But such is life. What I miss from Zog. On the topic of buying things for yourself, I finally decided to get Ring Fit. I love it so far. Hoping I'll get a better body image as well. Zog, that is wonderful. I'm super happy that you're taking steps to bring yourself more in line with what is in your mind and what would make you feel more comfortable. That the proactive steps that fit your situation, that's really, really cool. And I hope that it works out for you. Panda says, hey, guess what? Some people manage to download all the posts and info ever posted to Parlor. Parlor is, that whole thing is such a shit show that I've just been reading about that, and it's like so many things in the past 4 years. If you read this without any context to what was going on, like that this was reality, it would read like the shittiest absurd comedy ever. Thank you so much, Buttons. Thank you. I know that you particularly dig where I'm coming from, and it means a lot. I do appreciate that. Okay, so basically Parlor was if I'm understanding correctly, it was kind of a Twitter-esque site that a lot of the alt-right and fash folks and QAnon folks jumped to. Except the site has got, one, almost zero security, and two, it's hosting a bunch of Nazis. And because of all the things that are going on in the United States right now, a lot of companies that should have stepped forward a lot sooner, they can have cookies, but they're very small cookies, because steps should have been taken way before everything that's going on now. And the fact that they weren't taken before everything going on now is one of the reasons why everything that's going on now is going on now. But a lot of the companies have finally woke up to the fact that, hey, maybe fash insurrectionists, bad for brand image. So, like, everybody pulled support from Parler. They gave them basically, like, 24 hours to clean up the site, which is impossible because the site is, you know, basically a QAnon Twitter. And they're like, you know, you got 24 hours to clean up your site, or we're pulling all advertising and support for you. And so Parler just got basically super deplatformed. It's kind of beautiful. 70 terabyte of white supremacist data, including social security numbers, one of the biggest, most comprehensive doxes of all time. 3, you have to post enough Nazi shit for the mods to unshadow ban you when you sign up. That's another thing. I mean, like, Parler was, by design, kind of built to support these white supremacist neo-Nazi fash groups. It wasn't like an accidental thing that just happened. It wasn't something that was sideways encouraged because it would get more money and more clicks. Like, that was the point of Parler. And they, as Panda was saying, to even participate, like, really in Parler, you had to post a lot of neo-Nazi shit. You do not get to be there without being fash. Exactly. Like, that's, definitionally speaking, if you're on Parler, you are fash. Why do you teleport? You guys are such jackasses. Oh, excuse me, so you can teleport next to me? Jerk. Big jerk. I need a stronger, like, ass munch. But really, should ass munch be a bad thing? There's nothing wrong with that if that's something that people want to do. It's consensual. Nobody here would get in, Kronos. I can say that, and it's something that I am. You have no idea how immensely happy I am that I have been so lucky to basically randomly collect a very good community of people who I can trust to be decent people. Like, the odds of that just feel kind of absurd to me. But there would be nobody around here, I think, that would even vaguely fit into the Parler culture, like, even on accident. Excuse me, thank you. Wow, this is pretty. Is it killing me? I'm not sure. We have a... Oh fuck, it's killing me. Okay. Right, we're not strong enough for the moon rock yet. We're not Cave fucking Johnson, I guess. Oh, excuse me? Wait, how do you shoot around corners? Do you have magic fucking bullets? Did you kill JFK?
To fix it before the old twig bats inside the plant has a shit fit.
That's one thing off the bucket list. You know what they say? Foreplay is fair play when it's consensual. Actually, Kronos, that's not bad phrasing. I don't know if that's just something that people actually say, or if that's something that you came up with and you just tacked, you know what they say, on front of it, which is valid. But I kind of like that. It's straight, it's to the point, it cements and centers the consensual nature of things. That's... like, low-key impressed. Alright, like, I know there's evil guards here, but are there also evil office lady, tentacle, upside-down spider people? I think that covers the description pretty well, because those are the ones that really get to be the problem. Water cooler, let's talk about friends. Did you see the hijinks that Ross got up to? How about that, motherfucker? How much do you like Phoebe now? I always thought the few episodes of Friends that I saw that Phoebe was insufferable. She was quirky, which you would think I would appreciate, but she was very made-for-TV quirky. And generally, made-for-TV anything tends to be fairly bullshit. Could you not? Thank you, buddy. Hey, buddy. How about a bloody buddy? Fix it before the old twig pants in the plant has a shit fit is a great line. It is a great line. Adi is a fun character. At least, like, so far, I've been really enjoying his stuff. Oh, come on, please. Like, not now. It's only 2 hours in. I can't believe Ross blocked Alakazam cards from being sold for like 20 years. Ross is a bastard. Like, it's just it's just gross. I know about... Oh, excuse me. I know about the Uri Geller Alakazam connection. I do feel kind of bad about that, like, because I think, generally speaking, Uri Geller seems like a relatively decent dude, but, like, at the same time, he did shut down Alakazam, and so that's kind of shite. I wasn't there for the first few Control streams, so I figured I'd ask, is this the real world? Or is this just fantasy? Or a fever dream that's dangerously close to reality or something similar? Wait, is Uri Geller a grifter? Am I thinking of somebody else? Uri Geller's a spoonbender. I know about the Amazing Randy, and the Amazing Randy's not a grifter. Also has passed away. Thank you, Panda. Thank you for picking that up. Kronos, it's weird. Like, Control is the real world. But in the meta-narrative that is the world of Control, the real world is really fucking odd. The Federal Bureau of Control, which is the agency that we have accidentally become the director of, even though we were applying for a job as the janitor's assistant, but we were also trying to infiltrate to find out more about our dead brother, I think. Love it. Love it, folks. Love it. The federal agency, Federal Bureau of Control, may exist because people believe such an agency must exist, and therefore people's belief in the agency causes it to exist in kind of like a recursive loop. They're basically the X-Files if the X-Files was the entire agency and not just two agents in a basement. It seems like possibly all of the weird stuff that you hear could be true, And also, interdimensional incursions are, as Panda said, a lot more common than you'd think. Collective thought influences reality and creates anomalies. Yeah, that's actually it's a really good summary. And again, as I say, and I will always say, this game is so Unknown Armies. It's like, it's so my thing. Alright, evil guy up here. You are bad. Now you are dead. You might still be bad, but you're also very much dead. Oh, these poor scientists. I really shouldn't have wasted my time killing it, but... don't be a D-bag. Just come out and fight. Fight like a girl, motherfucker. Oh shit! Hi, that was a bad time. So it's like one big placebo effect, but literally isn't. That's... I don't think that's an uncharitable way to explain it. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I mean, I think that would be another way that you could kind of boil it down to the essence. What is with the rocket launchers? Stop throwing GURPS at me! It's so rude! GURPS is so big! Also, there are a lot more things having thoughts than were imagined in your Earth. I like that, Panda. I like that. It's a lot to wrap my head around for a premise. First off, get to you, Kronos. Rabbits! It is so good to see you! I hope that life is being very well to you. I hope that life is being incredibly kind. I don't know if we've spoken since New Year's. I'm sorry. Basically, the last, week is gone for me as far as the memory hole. But I do hope that you had a very wonderful New Year's. I do hope that this relationship that you have found and nourished continues to bring you joy throughout the year. And that this year treats you with the kindness and gentleness that you absolutely fucking deserve. Because you are good people. Kronos says, it sounds like a nightmare to write about. Props to the writing team. I imagine it was kind of a yes and kind of a no, because there's a lot of world building you can get away with by just being weird. Like, weirdness is very encouraged by the world of the game, so that might have been freeing for them. Panda says, the building Jesse's in is an interdimensional space called the Oldest House, which is under control by a group of extra-dimensional beings called the Board. Yes. Good plot summary there, Panda? Rabbit says I've been missing between 20th December and, the 6th of January. I was with my girlfriend. That is so awesome. Rabbit's like, you don't know how happy that makes me sound. Wait, no. That's not... I hate words and fucking up words when I'm trying to be heartfelt. You don't know how happy that makes me feel. Please be well. I hope so too, Rabbits. I don't know. I'm basically trying to use an ugly loophole. And it's a loophole I really don't like, but I think works. So, kind of abusing the system to get the thing that I need, but it's a system that's honestly pretty gross. Also, when they say that you need, the article said, the article listed, I want to pause this because I want to make sure I get it right. Um, the article that we're talking about, I think I posted it in the last control stream, but basically was talking about how there has been a jump in trans folks in Japan actually like getting their gender markers changed and getting their family registry changed, and that's like really the key thing because the family registry, a lot of shit will connect to that, like in your paperwork world. So like the family registry has to be updated. That's your kind of your keystone. But there's been a jump in folks who are doing this, and hooray, that is honestly great news. It's wonderful news. The things that they said were necessary according to the law, and I believe this is the 2017 law that I knew about from before. You need to have two doctors confirm that you have gender identity disorder, and which kind of pisses me off a little bit because look, I don't feel disordered. I know that's like quibbling about terms, but anyways, um, I don't know what the process of getting two doctors to confirm that, but it feels like something that at least there is a process. Maybe I could find doctors like that are friendly to the trans community to make that process a little bit easier. But at least like it's there. Okay, you need this diagnosis. You need these letters from the doctors for diagnosis. You also need, and this is kind of the ugly loophole, and I kind of want to throw out some content warnings here for transphobia and eugenics. Okay. When I first read about the 2017 law, and it said that you needed um, basically bottom surgery. And that's how it was written in the article that I had read at that time. And that's like a big step, and it's a shitty step to require of people because that's not necessarily something a lot of people are going to have access to. That's also not something that every trans person is going to need or going to desire. And that's okay, but that's what you need to get this gender change marker. The current article that I read, which went into the law a little bit more specifically, said you need to have surgeries that, and this is the gross part, so like this is the gross part. The surgeries are not for like the person's well-being. That's not why they're being required. They're not even being required for quote-unquote commitment to being your gender. They're being required specifically to destroy the reproductive capability of trans people. That's a lot, and it's really fucking nasty. However, here's the loophole. I've talked about this before in chat. I hope it's not like a TMI thing, but for reasons that we don't need to get into, before I came to Japan, I had my pipes cut, which is the lovely Japanese euphemism for getting a vasectomy. Um, Practically speaking, it's impossible for me to have kids. Technically speaking, like if I had a ton of money and I could like do a corrective surgery which has a really low chance of success, or I could have my juice harvested, like which itself is not a particularly cheap thing to do. Like they could do the loophole technicality back at me and say like, well, you could have kids. You would just have to spend a lot of money, but it is possible, so you don't count. Um, I don't know if like my argument works, but if what they're going for is eugenics and basically I can't have kids. Technically, I passed that test, so, you know, so it's kind of a complicated feeling for me because getting my paperwork changed feels very important to me. And maybe doing this thing with the doctors and getting the whole, like, yes, yes, you have gender identity disorder, yes, yes, maybe that could be a step towards getting on HRT, which would also be, that's very important to me as well. That's something that I really, really, I really want that. Um, and kind of taking my transition into meat space, which, while I know is not necessarily paramount, and it's not paramount for everyone, but it definitely, I think, is a big thing for me. So I want to roll the dice. We're going to have to get financial security again. That's its own issue, but I want to try, and if it works, I could get my papers changed, like... Yeah, like, I mean, fuck. I don't like abusing loopholes that support an evil system and an evil goal, but they're there, kind of thing, if that makes sense. In Germany, we have a similar premise. From what I know, it's a psychological evaluation, but I'm unsure if that's the same in Japan. I really don't know either, Rabbits. That was... I wanted to do that. I wanted this to be my big thing in 2020, was to get out and, like, find this stuff out. But like we kind of talked about a little bit in chat, I learn things best, especially in Japanese, when I'm dealing with people. Like, reading in Japanese for me, especially like reading real people text, like, it's a lot for me to do, and it's very, very difficult for me to get the information that they want to be presenting. When I can talk to people, and you've got the vocal cues and intonation, you've got gestures, you can ask them to stop and explain something again, you can build that kind of non-verbal communication understanding that you have with people. Like, that works for me the best, but that's not, like, really something that's doable, unfortunately, or at least it hasn't been in 2020, so that's kind of... What did we just do? I don't know, that was a very strange blur effect that we just had happen. Button says, I fully support using the loophole to get better care. The rule is oh, shit! I should have left it on pause. I forgot about you, buddy. I forgot all about you. Oh, are you really, though? Like, you whipped it off that quick. Just whipped it right off. Fully support using the loophole to get... Oh, come on. To get better care. The rule is unethical. You getting access to correct documentations and care is absolutely ethical, and at least that's my opinion. I mean, it's kind of how I'm squaring the circle. Buttons. I forgot totally about Rocket Ralph. Like, there's a lot going on. Rabbit said, sterilizing a population is also an act of genocide according to the international genocide law. Countries dodge that minefield because they put it as a requirement for trans care, rather than anyone force it on whoever voices that they are trans. You're absolutely right, Rabbits. There is simply no question. And I mean, I think even at the best of times, like surgery requiring laws, I think that's the underbelly of what they want. It surprised me that, at least in what I was reading, that it was so blatant about, okay, this is our goal, this is what we want. Where, like, usually it's kind of framed as a care thing. If you think hard enough, you convince your legs to function like springs. I mean, honestly, Chronos, in the world of this game, somebody has probably done that. Although I think in this game that there needs to be, like in the diegesis of this game, I think that there needs to be a broader conceptual model for it to happen, or for it to happen reliably. I'm not 100% sure, like, if individuals by themselves, and this might be something that the game addresses later, I'm not sure if individuals by themselves can just bust reality through belief. Oh, fudge. The jump! Jesse's jump is so goof-ass. I'm coming to love it more and more, the more that I see it. There's just, like, weird, staggered quality to it. Like, this is not a way that bodies actually move. Is that all of you? Are you all quite dead? The music has changed. Nope, nope, nope. Clearly not. There you go, Rocket Ralph. You... This D-hole. I'm apologizing if I'm not looking particularly closely at chat right at this exact minute. Whoa! Buddy, that was good! That, honestly, those were good moves, buddy. I mean that in 100% sincerity. I had to kill you, but, you know, that's how it worked. I want to get these D-bags cleaned up so that we don't have a repeat of the last time where I just got myself killed because I forgot what I was doing. Alright, now are we done? You know, so many games, I'm just thinking about, like, if we have to fight the Clog again, and so many games look at Isaac, and they think, poop is so easy. Sure, we'll put poop in our game, and that'll work, and I am here to tell you that it doesn't. Isaac understands the balance of gross, but also cute? Oh, come on! I wanted to check chat! Control, why do you do this? Yo? Fudge. Boxes. Amazon Prime, motherfucker! Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't want to use that as a battle cry ever again, honestly. Like, I was thinking about delivering a box, and it seemed like it would work, but it just felt kind of gross.
Let's go lift the lockdown.
Are you sure we won't blow up, Jesse? Because that seems like a thing that could absolutely happen at any time. Moon shoes? I remember moon boots. I don't know if moon shoes and moon boots are the same things, but I definitely remember moon boots. Panda says you forgot about Rocket Ralph! I did it twice. I did the same thing twice. The clog is the interdimensional concept of clog. Honestly, probably, Panda. Like, if we get down to it, probably the clog is kind of like an dimensional. This is how people imagine their drains get messed up. Can I not go in here? Really? Oh, no, I can. I always forget that you can climb things. Jesse. Jesse, love. Carl says, okay, maybe they are moon boots. Now I'm doubting myself. I'm not sure. And you're up in Canada as well, so, you know, different products get different naming conventions. But I definitely remember, like, that there were, like, these really puffy boots. And they were called moon boots. And when I was, like, in 2nd grade, maybe, they were heckin' cool. Get yourself a pair of moon boots. Like, that's pretty stellar. There is still whispering. I don't appreciate the fact that there's still whispering. Also, I think we missed a security door. which may or may not be a big deal. The Poppin game, I love you, but you gotta do something about this Poppin. Upcoming game reminder. Is this Control advertising the second Control inside of Control? Probably not. Next game is Wednesday at 8, usual spot. Hazard owes me $20. Erish, you're still on a fucking winning streak. Someone please figure out how he's cheating. Thompson suspended for a game because of shady dealing incident. Guy, I owe you $60. I bought beers last time, so it's Hepston Onsel's turn. And that's from Remus. Alright, hey, you know, it's... Do your memories. Oh, just the... Like, look at the blur! Look at the blur! Maybe it works, or maybe I can force my brain meats to make it work? Not sure yet. Funnily enough, I've never seen moon boots in real life, or power wheels for that matter. I feel like it's a standard. Rabbits. When the PS4 Pro came out, and I probably could have gotten one, but like there was already more serious talk about the PS5 coming out. And I was just like, should I just do the PS5 when I can? So I passed it on me. I passed on it. I don't know why I put me in that sentence. Reminds me of the PS3 port of Persona 5. Oh god, that's gotta be a thing. To go back up to Cronus really quickly, the moon boots and power wheels to me feel very strongly of the 80s. Like, I know that they existed beyond the 80s, but like they just have that deep 80s feel to them. And possibly just because that my childhood was in the 80s, so like that makes sense. So I don't think it would be very surprising if you hadn't seen them in the wild. It had few textured in lower res, but it was very playable and it was fine to look at. Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought, like... Because Persona 5 has got a lot going on visually, I would have thought that the PS3 would have struggled with it a lot more. Like, Persona 5, why you look and sound so good and then have to be such utter trash in every other department? That seems kind of unfair. That interesting. Now that is interesting, Cronson. I super did not know that. They had quite the presence in commercials, even in the early 2000s. So it seems like they were chugging along well enough even then. Like, I can't... Oh, fuck! God damn it, we did it again! I keep forgetting there's just a giant pit. I think most of the effects are nice to look at, but don't need a lot of resources. That's cool, Rabbits. There's a lot like that I don't, and I honestly, like, I don't really get about what's going on under the hood, so to speak. And kind of the development. I'd super need a rope, or those spring boots, like from Portal. But as I was saying, so there is a lot of stuff where it's like I don't know why things work or how they're put together. Can I not go into the spore room? Do you gotta be such a jerk? I wanna touch the moon rocks. Oh, fuck. We could do that? We could do that this whole time? Thank you! Zog, that's what they were called. They were the long fall boots. Oh, Claire! It is wonderful to see you. I hope you're doing very well today. I hope life is treating you gently and with the kindness that you deserve. I saw that you had a stream up, but I was kind of up to my elbows in doing laundry. So unfortunately I didn't get to drop in today. But okay, so this is gonna kill us. Don't want to do that yet. Killing the moon rocks did not make it safe, which I think is a very important life lesson for us. Killing the moon rocks does not make things safe.
This place is gonna come down.
Is it gonna come back down off this cloud? It's taken it all this time to find out what it needs? Oh, that's never gonna come down off this cloud. Never mind. Never mind. That's completely different. Furnace chamber? Maybe? Fun fact, the old house has no windows. If you see a window, then back away slowly to avoid agitating the room and report to your supervisor. I don't know if that is something in the game or something that you're just making up, Panda, but that could absolutely positively be something in the game, so kind of leaves us in a spot, in a bit of a sticky wicket, as they would say. It says a sorcery of security. Oh, it's actually totally in the game. I feel like you could just do a 101 made up facts about Control, and all of them could plausibly be seen as being in the game. Oh look, I did the stuff.
Crew feels a lot safer when you're around.
Okay, so why do you get this weird look when you look at me? Like, you talk and you smile, but then you do this face that looks like you're smelling something bad? I don't know about you, Oddish.
Try to stay
Right.
alive.
You gotta lock down the lift.
Any new powers yet? I remember throwing things into Skydash. I think as far as powers, that's where we are. I don't know if you saw the gun mod, but so far I hardly used it, so... Been very punchy, and that's fun. I feel like I'm slightly better able to punch things. Well, where's the maintenance control room? Oh, there we are. Get more power soon. I figure we will. Oh, they're just poopy pants, dude. Clearly, he can't take off the suit, otherwise he'll be hurt by the oldest house somehow. I mean, if the HRA, the big protector that he wears on his chest, if that is somehow blocking his pants, like the removal of said pants, you may actually be literally correct. Because the oldest house right now is filled with the hiss, so he would probably be taken over, going to the bathroom, and then he would be like he'd be an evil zombie who would be half finished with having gone to the bathroom, and that's a hard way to go. Like, nobody wants to go like that. It's an overall, right? One piece, pants and top sewn together. I think so. I haven't taken like a really close look at his waist. It would make sense if it was. Oh, Sludo! I mean, his house. I thought you were gonna say the his course, like the discourse, and that would be completely different. Well, everything's got to be making weird ass noises, so I don't know if any particular weird-ass noise that I hear is important. Which, in this game, I think is suitable. It fits, but it is also kind of annoying. They put physics on the toilet paper. Whoever made Control, they didn't need... That's a har. That's a har. Panda. I mean, it was a good roll. It was a good roll for the pun, but... That's fair. Whoever made Control, because I keep on forgetting, they probably didn't need to just have physics on basically everything. I mean, I know it looks kind of cool, but... Same time. Like, am I really going to be throwing on toilet paper? Ooh, thresholds. The oldest house is a place in flux. Thresholds appear with no warning. What the threshold will contain is a question we can only answer once it manifests. The widely accepted theory is that thresholds are dimensions vibrating on a redacted frequency, different from our own. When these frequencies match, the threshold will manifest in the oldest house, which acts as redacted. Others theorize thresholds are parallel universes, or possibly our own reality at a different point in time. Some believe our collection of altered materials affects the house or attracts the thresholds. We do know for certain that thresholds are not permanent. Eventually their frequency will shift. Some believe Earth itself is just another threshold connected to the oldest house, which is actually rooted in some other reality. This theory, while impossible to disprove, causes redacted in those who learn of it, and so is actively denied. Oh, that's fair. That seems fair. Gotta give their game the bathroom physics. They're just deeply necessary. Alright, so that door is a bad door. We don't want to go in that door. Black rock processing. That's where we just came from? No. We came from there, so we gotta go... But we don't want to go to the processing. We want to go to the control room, right? Sector elevator. Well, let's just check it out, just in case. Oh, that's probably not. The redacted word is happiness! I like that. I like that. Wait. Did we go the wrong way? Hold on. Right, but this is in the dark gray. I can't read maps. I know it's so cliche. Fucking... Motherfucking Rocket Ralph. What? Do you not know how rude it is to shoot somebody when she's reading a fucking map? Okay. I still need to read that map, though. So we're in central main entrance. We don't want to be there. Want to be... Wait, did you come back? Oh no, I just healed. How do we get back... over... to that NCS control room? I would have sworn that it was this way, but I guess not. This is very awkward to have the map on the screen like this, by the way. Alright, so like if we go here-ish? Converters, right? Okay, so we did the power converters from Taluine Station or wherever. Welcome back, Des. I hope wherever you went was very fruitful to you. Or possibly filled with fruit. That might make you happy as well. Oh, was this a locked door? For some reason, this game reminds me of how my one friend was arguing that we could hypothetically use francium to produce infinite energy. Again, that seems like it would be perfectly within the bounds of the world building of Control, and would be funny as hell. Francium. What good has francium ever done for us? You don't understand. The energy is infinite. Oh, good. Yes, we are here. Fun things to pick up. New things to kill. Good to know. Oh, crumbs. Now, all y'all motherfuckers, I'd like you to take a seat, because I'm throwing a chair at you? Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best. We just popped the cap right in that guy's face. It feels a little bit rude, but also entirely called for. I just put the people of France on hamster wheels for infinite energy. You know, or babies. I'm broadly caught up, Des. Like, there's some of the granular details of...
Forces contain
Just a mo.
a lockdown.
We're gonna have to listen to this guy's phone call anyways.
Directorial override.
Some of the more granular details of, like, what's been going on and when
This is what we came here to do.
has still escaped me, because it just seems like there's a ton. But the weird-ass insurrectionists, also that asshole dude who was, like, cosplaying as a Native American shaman, but he had the American flag on his face, and, like, it just... It's a thing. Oh, Zog, sorry about that, I missed it. Fronts him to produce infinite energy. His main argument was that we can't prove it wrong. And my friend responded to him, said, "You just invented religion." That was hilarious to me for some reason. That's all for random story time. I like that. Zog, I like that story. I hate everything about that, Rabbit. I mean, this whole situation has been... I don't know if it's a farce masquerading as a tragedy, or a tragedy masquerading as a farce. Some of the things that have been going on in this have been honestly kind of scary and high level bad. Like the higher level, like, government folks that were kind of helping with this and being in on this, the cops that have traveled across country to be in on this, the fact that some of the people, although they failed, were clearly prepared to kidnap congresspeople and senators. So, like, you've got all that. But, like, and that's scary and has pretty deep implications for how fucked things are. But then you've also got this buffalo-headed jackass, and people are posting selfies of themselves as they're doing an insurrection, which, by the way, is a hangable offense. Panda, thank you so much for dropping by. It's wonderful, as always, to have you in here, and I hope that you get a very good sleep this evening. Actually, maybe a good timing, because I can definitely feel my throat getting scritchy, and I think I should put some water down it. Des, that is on the infuriating side of the scale. That's something, and we saw that even going up into that because there was another incident. I want to say it was in Michigan. But basically kind of the same thing. Like they busted into the Capitol and were treated completely with kid gloves. No problems, not at all. But I mean, I don't think that there's anybody here tonight that doesn't believe or understand that had this been like, or had there been a Black Lives Matter or Antifa presence here, the end result would be very, very different. And that disparity, for anybody who bothers to look at it, really puts a super underline under just how white supremacist the country is in general, law enforcement is in particular, how anti-black it is, and that's fucked. Absolutely pisses the shit off of me. And I have the fear that it's going to happen similarly this time, that these guys, they are being picked up by the FBI. So there's that. Investigations are ongoing. They're on no-fly lists. But, you know, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, that they're going to walk. Or they're going to get lightly punished. Or maybe a few of them will get, like, punished harshly as the show, but most of them won't. And I don't think that's an illegitimate fear. In Oregon, okay, thank you, Buttons. A conservative rep literally opened the door for some people breaching the Oregon Capitol. I didn't remember the state, but thank you for the heads up on that, Buttons. Rabbit said, did you hear that a group of hackers has taken control of Parler before it went off the net because basically security services ended and stuff? They took all the data that Parler had, put it out in the public, including verification documents like pics, driver's license, and all deleted messages, quote-unquote, tweets. We did talk about that a little bit, Rabbits. That's just, like I say, just another level to the absurdity and farce of what is really, honestly, and I'm not rah-rah patriot or anything, but this is exceedingly bad news. They wouldn't have been given the chance to get that close. Absolutely not, Des. Absolutely not. Cross says, I don't have much to add to the whole US thing other than the fact that it's just incredibly embarrassing to think about. And that's the weird thing. It's like, it's both embarrassing and terrifying at the same time. And so it's kind of hard to have a coherent reaction. This says, yet there's native Indians, etc., and loads out there being held for less. The disparity and contrast is so off. I mean, it's off and it's by design. And it continues basically because most of us don't care. Ultimately. I'm using the us here, although I do in fact care. I mean, I'm talking about white America, and I mean, I do need to be included in that group because of the side benefits that I get from the systems that we have in place. But the way Native Americans in particular are being treated right now, and have been treated throughout the COVID crisis, is an atrocity, I think, is a word that would be fitting in this situation. Possibly roundabout genocide would not be 100% of exaggeration. Rabbit said, the fact that they didn't round them up when they were in the Capitol to arrest them just shows that they planned on letting them off the hook until the pushback came. Rabbits, you've got it on the head. You definitely got it on the head. I blame the notion of superiority in slavery. I mean, it's baked into the country. Des? DJ, it is wonderful to see you. Welcome back. I'm glad that you got the yakiniku. I did want to want to kind of side mention something, but I do want to do it later because I really want to get some water down my throat. So I'm going to take these 5 minutes. I'm going to get myself a little bit of water. I encourage all of you, if you need a stretch, water, soup, sandwiches, a sander, like a belt sander. I don't know, whatever floats your boat, or sinks it if you need to sink the boat. But take these 5 minutes to kind of do that little bit of self care. We'll be right back. Alright, we are back. Oh, VC! Hey, it's really good to see you as well. Yakiniku is so good. DJ, it's going a lot better today. Honestly, it's going much better today. Just seeing all of you really adds. Des says, I've been in an old slave docking area in Africa. Never been so upset and had to draw so much willpower not to break down badly. With the amount of emotions I was feeling as I stood there and walked around. It's historical and ingrained in society. That's a lot, Des. That would be a lot to deal with. Crosses, I can't remember if I said hello to VC, so I'll risk doing it again. No problem saying hello to people twice. There's one thing I wanted to kind of address really quickly, and I want to put just a pin in the overall conversation right now. Not that the conversation needs to stop. There's no yellow card on the table, but I do want to just put a pin in it just for a second, so I can address something that I wanted to address once I had more people around. So this is something I talked about a little bit with Hive after last week's stream. I'm not going to rehash the conversation. I don't think it's germane or necessary, and I'm not going to point any fingers because nobody fucked up or anything. Except I kind of feel like I did a little bit. Kind of happened at the end of the stream, and we had a conversation going on. It got pretty hot, and kind of had, one person on one side of the conversation, and then like a couple of other people on the other side of the conversation. It was something that we all had fairly strong opinions on, and I felt like in retrospect that it was, while the conversation itself, I feel like all parties were acting in good faith, that it was starting to get pretty dogpiley, and that's not a way to reach out to people, but it's really easy to happen because we don't have the visual cues or the verbal cues of whose turn is it to talk and let this person say their piece. And so sometimes, like, we've got 3 or 4 folks that are all putting in their input at the same time and hitting enter at the same time, and so you kind of get a landslide of, here's the one side of the conversation, and then somebody on the other side that's just kind of defending themselves. I don't want that to happen. I want this to be a place where we can have bigger conversations, and we can learn about things, and we can disagree sometimes about things. But I don't want people to feel like they're being jumped on. So if we start to notice, myself, if I start to notice that, then I will step in and call a pause in the conversation, just so that we can kind of slow it down a little bit and make sure nobody's getting hurt. But 2, that if we're starting to see a lot in the chat that's basically saying just the one side of the conversation, then maybe take a really quick pause to see if somebody has already said the thing that you were going to say. And if the point covers the point that you were going to make anyways, that maybe move on to a different point or a next point. So that's kind of my due diligence. I meant to check up with people in DMs about that, but last week was pretty fucked. So there was that. But I want the people, because some of the folks that were here last week are here tonight. So I wanted you to know that was seen. It was definitely noticed. It was definitely discussed how it can be handled better in the future, so everybody is safe and everybody has a chance to teach each other and learn. So that's my piece. That's my piece. VC and DJ, you jumped in right there, but it was kind of like, well, I've got everybody here, so let's talk about it. What was the conversation about, if it was okay to ask? It's not that it's not okay to ask, but it's not a conversation that I necessarily want to reopen right now. But catch me up in the DMs, and I'll give you the the basic rundown. It wasn't like a terrible conversation. And like I said, nobody went over the line. If somebody's gone over the line, then they're usually just going to get bounced anyways, but that's my job too, so that's something that shouldn't really come up. Kronos says, I'd like to answer your question, Rabbit, but I was kind of passing out during the thing going on. That's fair. Like, it was at the end of the stream, and...
That's it. The other sector should be open now.
It's not a big thing.
I think it's...
It's just a thing that I want to handle better,
I'll
VC.
risk it. You two should get to know each other.
But really, the important takeaway here is just that I wanted folks to know that it was seen, it was discussed, and better care will be taken in the future to make sure that things are handled where we're not all really getting hot. Oh, we gotta go to Emily. I like Emily. She's weird. Emily is weird, and weird is fun. Janitor's office, sector elevator, ventilation. Alright, so we want sector elevator. I think. Yeah? Yeah. Have we gone in here? Absolutely, DJ. I will absolutely, and it's something that I had intended to do earlier, just so that you were looped in, but I didn't have the energy. The first week of 2021 has been. It's been a lot. It's been an awful lot. Where do we want to go? Maintenance executive, I think. Right, because Emily's an executive right now. The consecutive kills boost weapon mod lasts for 5 seconds. The timer resets after each kill. That's a good thing to know. Kronos' long and short is basically this. Topic itself wasn't bad. The opinions differentiated enough to escalate the tension. I think that's a good summary, Kronos. And I think it's a good topic. And I think it's definitely something that we could chew on. And it's definitely something that we could learn from. But just one of those ones like education, where it's really easy for people to get really hot about. For completely different reasons, but DJ says I'm about to post pics of what I had. Ooh, I want to see your yakiniku. I haven't had yakiniku in ages, DJ. There are a couple of pretty nice all-you-can-eat yakiniku places here in Osaka that Honey Bunny and I used to go to, and would just... Honestly, we would just stuff ourselves like ticks. Get the all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink, and the food was so good.
Oxygen's pumped into the rooms. There was never any risk of suffocating.
Hey, I know what I felt. They're too small. Executive staff should get bigger, safe rooms.
That guy sounds a little... He sounds kind of douchey. Actually, why should executive staff get bigger safe rooms? That's not cool. I want to fly to Japan, eat a bunch of food, and fly back the same day. I feel like you would die? Oh, control points. I would love to have you fly here, Kronos, if you were comfortable. Obviously, once the plague is lifted and we can kind of do normal people's lives and normal people traveling again. And if you were comfortable with Meetup, I would love to have you here in Osaka. There's a couple of good places that I just really, really enjoy. Some of them are kind of like your sketchy, tiny places. Some of them are a little bit nicer, a little bit chain but it would be so cool. I'd take you on the town. Unfortunately, the only bar that I know that I feel kind of comfortable with is, like, it's not a fetish club, but it's definitely a fetish bar. There are, without getting too deep into it, a rather large number of rather large dildos everywhere. So some people are uncomfortable in those kind of situations, but it is a really nice bar. The staff is really, really cool, and they all know my sitch, and they're cool with it. So, like, I would I would give you the option of wanting to go there. Summary. Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the redacted arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by redacted. Detection of an unobstructed ping using the redacted within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures or redacted or vulnerable spots of the oldest house. Common factor in these theories is that the control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilize the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilize the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be redacted. Good to know. Kronos says, I've literally never been to a place like that, but I definitely vibe with it if the people and service were cool. Dildos, is that a nickname for dill pickles? So it's a sandwich bar. Nice. I mean, it's not... I don't want to give the impression that it's all that. Like, there are shows that you could go to for that type of activity. I want to keep it a little bit under the TMI range, just because I know that kind of stuff makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable and not always super comfortable talking about it. But the bar itself is largely just a bar that is kind of connected to some of the groups and organizations that put on these shows. So the decor is largely in line with that. But the folks... I mostly know, like, the staff at the bar. I know the bar master. He actually accidentally stole a comic from me, and I'm a little bit salty about that, but I forgive him because it was at the beginning of the COVID times, and everything got really kitty-wampus after that, so, you know, it happens. I know the bar staff, and I know the bar master, and they're just really cool, really nice people. And every time that I've gone to, like, a larger event, I've always, even in the before and especially in the after, I've felt, like, comfortable and, like, people see me not strange because everyone is basically strange. So, like, they don't gawk, you know? They're just like, sounds like no bar I've seen or been to before. There are some very interesting bars in Osaka, Des. My first local was a bar slash piercing parlor. I loved it. It was... That was actually the bar that I've felt the most comfortable with, because honestly, like, fet stuff is an environment that I can feel comfortable with, but an activity that I'm not necessarily comfortable with. Body modification is, like, that fits me so well. And all of my friends that I consider close, I met at that particular bar. But it was like, it was really tiny. It had an alligator hanging from the ceiling. Like, why? I don't know. the first time that I went to that bar, they were playing mad scientist porn? Crap. What is a better term for that? Because I want to get ableist language. I want to get the word mad out of the vocabulary, but I don't know a better term for that type of scientist. Unethical researcher sounds a little bit different. There was at a time, I feel like from what I've seen, the heyday, the golden age of vending machines has largely passed. There was a time when you could find vending machines that, oh, I mean, it was taxidermied, Alice, but it was a real crocodile. Alligator? Crocodile? There was a time, and the tail end of that was probably when I got here, but even at that point I think it was mostly going away, where you could find vending machines that basically sold anything. Like white button-up shirts for work, you could get that. I can still find vending machines for batteries and rice in bags, like just big bags. There were definitely, I think probably the numbers were exaggerated in kind of Western news outlets, but there were definitely places where you could buy ladies' underwear in vending machines with pictures of the ladies who it was claimed wore that underwear. I've not seen one of those in operation in probably 15 years. Hopefully enough people decided that, like, no, that's actually kind of gross. But it was a thing that did exist, that I have seen with my own two eyes. Buttons says, it might be TMI, but it kind of reminds me of the vibes at kink clubs I used to go to. Like, gender was just kind of treated as another variation on weird. That's a big mood, Buttons. And I think that's it, or that's close to the heart of it. I mean, there are things that I don't necessarily get because of language and cultural barriers, and there are things that I don't necessarily need to be exposed to because the assumptions are different for me as being a foreigner in Japan. Whereas, you know, maybe these places would read as less safe to someone who was Japanese, to someone who more obviously visually tracked as a woman. I don't know, but I've always felt safe in those spaces. It might just be because I exist in a little loophole that allows me a little bit more naivete. And I think definitely it should be recognized that, like any community, the kink community can have, you know, dangers to it. There are abusers in that community as well. And if you are kind of new to those kind of communities, absolutely keep on your toes. But, like, it is weird, I think, the number of dangers I don't get exposed to because of certain aspects of how I look and who I am. Maybe dangerous scientist, public endangerment doctor. Public endangerment doctor sounds good, but is a little bit long. Dangerous scientist is maybe getting closer. Yeah, it does. I mean, getting food from vending machines, certainly. I can dig that. But, like, you could just get just basically anything from vending machines at one time. Rabbit says the market for undergarment is still alive online. Lots of sex workers offer that as their first piece of merchandise, besides videos and pictures, of course. Okay. It's definitely there. Let's tread a little bit lightly on this one. Frantic Doctor. Maybe Zog? Maybe? Let me kind of roll that one around in my brain meats, but maybe Frantic Doctor. To kind of go to the overall king point, tread a little bit lightly here so that we don't need to go into an X rating for what we're saying. But yeah, you're definitely right. Ooh, Danger Doctor. Danger Doctor or Frantic Doctor? I think either of those have got some pretty good points to them. Gained a doctorate in danger. I would love a PhD in danger. Thank you very much. And then, you know, when I'm listening to the song What's Up Danger, I could say exactly what's up danger. I'd be like, motherfucker, I studied this. Let me pull out my dissertation. Have you heard of Cat Black? She does some excellent vids, opening discussions on pics like this and other stuff with race and trans topics. I have read, that's not the word I want. I have listened to some of Cat Black's videos.
They're stuck in my head.
I feel like I remember that. Right, that's the point that I remembered, Rabbits, that she's kind of cozy with ContraPoints, and ContraPoints is kind of gross, so I think that was the reason why I ended up not following her anymore, which is a shame because I do need to hear more black and trans voices, especially black and trans voices in communities where I myself feel comfortable. Perhaps they don't. But yeah, basically. PtaER utility. This stream, by the way, I didn't address Kronos, but this stream has been awesome. We've got to go over like a number of things that are often on my mind, for one thing. Got to hit a number of points I think that were pretty important. A little bit of heaviness, but mixed in with a little bit of goofiness as well. So yeah, this has been a good one. I mean, I don't know if I've ever walked away from streams and been like, oh no, that wasn't a good stream. But this is one that I'm really happy with. Examination of paranatural topics, objects of power, then para-utility. Objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals paranatural abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians. The potency of these objects depends on the para-utilitarian. Using the redacted. You gotta say redacted so many times. Objects of power is an example. Some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of redacted, while others are only capable of as little as redacted. See Dr. Darling presentation, we've already watched that. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but is largely believed that some redacted exists within the body. It's midichlorians. It's definitely midichlorians. And that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmoor records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians the Bureau's ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. She may say some good things sometimes, but she doesn't vet her friends and puts friendships above politics regarding what they've done. Absolutely, and it's kind of the same reason that I don't, although he's obviously not in the same category, but it's the same reason I don't watch Ollie anymore. Although I've heard that Ollie is also kind of pretty gross behind closed doors, so, you know, there's that. Excuse me. We are at the 313 point. We might, as much as I don't want to tie a bow on things, because I've... Ollie is a YouTuber. He runs a channel called PhilosophyTube. he does a lot of look at philosophy from a, a broadly leftist perspective. And I do want more information, like from a leftist perspective. He also, and to his credit, because he's got theater background, he does present well. And he is quite, in his persona on his YouTube channel, seems very personable, seems very friendly. But he's another person who's pretty chummy with ContraPoints, who, in case you don't know, Zogtar, is ContraPoints is another YouTube channel that generally discusses trans issues, and she can be like an access point for a lot of people who don't really know much about trans issues, but the way that she presents some things, for me, a lot of times didn't really quite sit well, and sometimes felt kind of actively gross. And she's got a very, like, this is the way to be trans, you need to do this thing vibe to her philosophy that, like, really sets me off. And she's also platformed, is that one dude, the Buck Angel guy, like, is he an actual Nazi? I feel like he's an actual Nazi, but already the details are starting to fade into memory. So, like, but anyways, so ContraPoints is maybe not the best place to go for trans information. But the Philosophy Tube is a big supporter of ContraPoints, or has been in the past, and that is kind of suspect. Buck Angel's a TERF, so yeah, a fascist. Okay, that's good to know that I wasn't remembering wrong. So she platforms, which is kind of amazing to me, but bootlickers will be bootlickers. She's a trans woman who platforms active TERFs, so that's also kind of gross. But yeah, like, as much as I hate to say it, because I'm very to the left myself, and if I understood the philosophy behind it more, I could probably say that, like, yeah, anarcho-capitalism, anarcho-communism sounds pretty good. But the left tube is kind of hive of scum and villainy as well. They just have points that are more agreeable to me than, you know, the right side of YouTube. So every time I find out something like this, it's like, oh fuck, yeah, really? Really? Gotta be like that? If you want to watch Black Trans Online as creators, one of the good things I've heard about is Persephoroth here on Twitch. Couldn't catch her streams yet, though. She's been streaming Hades a lot recently. Fuck, I gotta write that down, Rabbits, because you know that I will forget that. I hope I got that spelled right. Persephoroth. That's an I, not an E. Button says, oh, I was not aware of that. I don't like ContraPoints, but I'm also not super comfortable dismissing her out of hand. I think it's unfair to expect one of the only black trans women YouTubers with a notable following to publicly reject one of the biggest names in left tubes. Buttons, that's a fair point. That's an absolutely fair point. And I don't really know how to expand on it without being trite, so I'm just going to leave it at saying that it's a very fair point. Research. Collective unconsciousness is defined as a form of unconscious that is shared in all human minds. I mean, yeah, it's kind of on the tin. From this arises unconscious knowledge, linking us through our ancestral heritage, see Jung report. Jung? Jung? Through this collective unconscious, we unknowingly attribute a series of images and archetypes to all elements of our lives. These archetypes are never fixed, but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. The internal belief in the power of images... I'll check the chat in just a second. Shared by massive populations, redacted in the creation of altered items and objects of power. Sheer amount of redacted exuded is attracted to the best representation of that image. These, I swear, like, the writers of Control and I am enjoying it because, like I said, it does, like, basically check all my boxes. But I swear that somebody on this writing team had to have read Unknown Armies. Like, this is lifted, like, I don't want to say word for word, but they're basically explaining the avatar system of Unknown Armies. Like, this is it? I so want to see the dev docs. Theoretically, places of power could likewise be formed by the simple power of sustained collective belief. Gotcha. Claire says, Sephi, she's great. Sephi's been streaming Hades, Persona 4, and Pokemon. She was doing a makeup and chat session yesterday. This sounds pretty cool. Emily, where are you? Emily, please. I gotta get your deets. Post-it notes. Considering Caplac is not really all that buddy-buddy with the general left-tude crowd, she didn't need to defend ContraPoints in public. There are better people out there, they just aren't big names, I wonder why. Yeah. Excuse me. I like this song. Oh, Kronos, I don't know if you're awake still, but I do want to point out, because you weren't here for the first two streams, the vending machines are filled with complete generic name products. Just white bags with pistachios, potato chips, protein on them. One of the bits in Control is that they're not allowed to bring objects that are representations of other objects. Like, you can't bring a rubber duck because the rubber duck is a representation of an actual duck. So they're not allowed to have, like, representation of the food, or iconic representations, excuse me, of the foods on their bags. I like that. Are you here? Okay, good. Emily is here.
You made it, and you lifted the internal lockdown.
Let's talk, Emily.
Yes, of course.
Emily's very excited.
Listen,
I like
Emily.
that.
Screw it. Just tell her. I haven't been completely honest. I have a younger brother.
No one's completely honest.
When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places. Bad things happened. Came through.
That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside.
But we found help. Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
A being. What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but
Sorry, I'm being quiet, Zog.
she helped us. We managed to turn the projector off. The bad things that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away. They got Dylan.
I left him behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes. You covered it up. No one believed me. I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
What happened to the slide projector? It sounds like another object of power.
I thought you took it. The Bureau.
Damn, Emily's just like, oh, sorry you lost your brother. What about that slide projector?
Never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved. A large area of the containment sector was reserved for it. The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
Let's hope you two get along.
She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
Wait, is that how
As
you
in
pronounce
a
that?
guiding star.
I always thought it was Polaris.
Polaris know about the hiss? If she got you in here in spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful. Which may help explain your test results. Your readings are incredible, Jesse. Now, cross-referencing them with the database, I found 2 matches in Darling's old classified files. Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes. But one was P6, referring to a prime candidate for a potential future bureau director. This was logged years ago.
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which
I gotta
must
write down
be
Dylan's
connected
name,
to
'cause we
these
gotta talk
Hedron
about Dylan.
resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure the HRA production after the Hiss first attacked.
So, Marshall seems like our best lead on Dylan.
I need to go after her. How can I get to the research sector?
Use my key card. The sector elevator will take you there.
Marshall is the next step.
Do we have to kill
Emily
Marshall?
told me about ordinary
rather not.
powers being connected to things in the Bureau's past. I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
Is it spooky?
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
Okay, let's, this has been a 3.5-hour stream, which is, it's pretty nice. That's a good one. In fact, that I'm feeling largely focused, not nearly. I'm sorry I was so quiet for the last bit. I really wanted to hear the story. I'm really enjoying the story here. Feeling a lot more like not as groggy as we were after the last stream last week, which is nice, like kind of functional in the brain. This is I have a tough decision from We Happy Few. Do I start this game Control or Out of Worlds? Mind you, I've gone off Fallout type games. I'm really enjoying Control a lot, Des. Like, it's the world side, the gameplay side feels a little bit clunky. Sometimes it's taken a bit to get used to. But like, I really like the world building in Control. I don't know Outer Worlds enough to really give it like a plus or minus. So cover mechanics, I mean, they're not, honestly. I might not be using them really well either, but like, I think if you're expecting a really smooth third-person shooter type of game, you're not gonna get that here. So if that's what you want to go in for, like, it's probably not gonna happen. if you go in for the story so far, I've just been very, very pleased. One thing I want to mention, and I'll need to mention this again later, but the last cutscene reminded me of something. I know that somebody on Auntie's Discord mentioned that there were some issues with the character of Dylan and the presentation of like mental health issues. I don't know what those are, like in specific, but I think we can consider maybe as the story unfolds. I'm pretty sure it was Dylan. It was definitely a D name. I'm pretty sure we can consider as the story unfolds, at least a low-level CW on mental health and ableism connected to that character's sections. Now, it seems like they only talk about Dylan in cut scenes, and usually there's a bit of a lead-up, so at least like it shouldn't be something that we're surprised into. But maybe just kind of keep that in the back of our minds, and I'll try to mention it again at the beginning of tomorrow's stream. I'm glad it finally clicked in my memory. What else did I need to mention that I kind of wanted to draw down a little bit? Tomorrow's going to be Control. Wednesday will be Dreams. We didn't get the Wednesday stream. I do appreciate, by the way, I really want to thank you all for being patient with me when we've lost streams or had to shift streams. I don't want to make anybody worry. Like, things are within, for better or worse, normative boundaries of mental health, which is not really a positive thing to say in my case, but at least it's something that I know how to kind of sort of deal with. But to get the double whammy of the migraine as well, and I have been having poorly timed migraines recently, but I do appreciate that everybody has been really cool with me needing to cancel things off or needing to shift things. Sometimes folks, like, not in our community, thankfully, but sometimes folks do get kind of pissy about that. So, there's that. As for the Sunday stream, and I'm up in the air about, like, where we're gonna go with Little Big Planet moving into the future. Because, like, the LBP Me is still not up. And that really does add to the difficulty of, like, putting together a stream playlist. And, like, we had the last LBP playlist where, like, there was a chunk of stuff that we played that was just kind of a little bit trash because we picked it off of, like, newest levels list, like, in-game. I absolutely want to be continuing LBP. Like, I love the game and I love streaming it, but I'm not sure how capable I'm going to be of doing that without LBP Me in the toolbox. So I'm keeping an eye on the site, and of course Sumo has not told us anything about what's going on, so I don't really have a, like, I could tell you, oh yeah, second week of January, site's gonna be back up, we can get back into the LBP streams. So it's kind of like, I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what to tell you about that, which means I don't know what we're gonna be doing Sunday. If it's gonna be LBP or if it's gonna be something that's just a little bit easier to deal with. Des says, husband got Xbox Game Pass for 3 years, so I'm a bit spoiled for choice with games. I pick on cues from you, just for you and what you do. Thank you, Des, thank you. Autocorrect, do what you like to do. I mean, either statement works. Yes! No, Rabbits is streaming. Are you streaming tonight? Well, I mean, tonight for me, but later today for you. Of course, because you said later today. Everybody, I've mentioned it before, Rabbits is a wonderful streamer. Very knowledgeable, very kind, very interesting to listen to, and with a really solid voice for listening, which helps me off a lot. So, in roughly 50 minutes, that's my old show. In roughly 30 minutes, Rabbits will be working on Ni no Kuni 1. I highly recommend their streams if you still got the energy for streaming. For streaming, if you've got the energy for watching, drop in at least for a little bit and say hi. And yes, Rabbits, yes, you can absolutely always mention your stream in chat. There's 0% problems with that. But I think, broadly speaking, I think that kind of handles everything on the new business agenda, at least for like us, for us here. So I'm gonna put a bow on this. I had a wonderful night tonight. I really did. Got to talk about some topics that we don't really like necessarily usually get around to, and I'm glad that folks were comfortable talking about them. So that was really cool to me. Also, I get to talk about my old local, which is like one of my favorite because there's so many good stories from the old local. I love bringing that up. Thank you all so much in these very, very strange times for taking a little bit of time and hang out with me. I really do appreciate that. Very much in that vein of presentation, Zog. But I haven't played it myself. But I definitely need to go. I love you all, and thank you so much. But for me, Risco, here in Osaka, to all of you out there, wherever you may happen to be, thank you, thank you. Arigato, arigato, sayonara, see you, and ciao.